Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pam and today's video is going to be my May wrap up. So I'm really happy to say that in the month of May I read 8 books. Yes. Unfortunately I didn't finish my Jenga TBR. I have 1 book left, but I'm gonna talk about it at the end of this video. First, let's go with the first book that I read. So the first book that I read is Imagine Me by Termafi. This is the final book in the Shatter Me series. It's the conclusion. I'm done with this series, which I'm so happy. I give this one a 4 out of 5 star. I quite enjoyed it. I think between the 3 edition that was added to the series, I think Imagine Me was my favorite. Just because it was wrapped up like pretty well. I'm quite happy with the ending. I quite enjoyed this ending, and Kenji is just one of my favorite characters, and he has one perspective in here. I really enjoyed also the kind of Ella Juliet thing going on. It was really interesting, and just we learn also more about the past and how the establishment became the establishment, and I really enjoyed that. It was more political, which I always love and enjoy my books, so yeah, a 4 out of 5 star. Then I read They Never Learn by Lane Fargo, and I give this one a 5 out of 5 star. Oh my god. I think it's one of my favorite trailers of this year, and it's gonna be in my top trailers of all time. I absolutely loved it. It's crazy that at first I wanted to skip that book, just because it was the May book pick for the Literally Dead book club that is hosted by Kayla over at Books and Lala. And I don't know, I didn't own that book, so I was like, maybe I'm gonna skip it. But then I went on my library, I went on Libby, and they had an audiobook of it at my library, so I decided to borrow it, and I flew through the audiobook. The audiobook was really good. So basically we're following like 2 different perspectives, and Carly and Scarlett, and basically we know that Scarlett is a teacher at this university, and Carly is a student, and Scarlett is a serial killer. So basically, yeah, she kills bad men. Yeah, you know, men that abused women, and it was so empowering. I love that book. Like I said, it was so good. The twists and the turns, I didn't expect any of them. Like, I was shook. I absolutely loved it. Like, I remember listening to the audiobook and like squealing and like gasping out loud and just being in love with that book. So yeah, so this is a 5 out of 5 star. I loved it. Next I read Sight Witch by Susan Dennard. So this is the 3rd, well no, it's not the 3rd book. It's a novella included in the Witchland series, and this, I'm really happy that I read it because I give it a 5 out of 5 star. This really confirmed for me that I will continue on with the Witchland series. So I'm really happy because I really love Truth Witch. I was a bit bored by Wind Witch. I was not sure after I finished Wind Witch if I wanted to continue with the series, but then I read Sight Witch and I was like, I need to continue the series. This was amazing. I would have liked a full-length novel following these characters. I would have loved it. If you haven't read the Witchland series yet, do it. Yeah, I'm really excited for Blood Witch, which is a book I'm gonna read in June, probably. So I hope I'm gonna be able to read it in June, actually. So yeah, but I love this one. It was really good. So 5 out of 5 star, like I said. Next, I read Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman, and oh my god, 5 out of 5 star. I loved it. We expanded the world. We got a glimpse of how it's done in other countries and continent, like the Sidom, how it's managed, and I loved it. And the twist, the turns, like characters coming back from the dead, and the ending, like, understand people now. I know I remember when this first came out, everyone was freaking out about the ending, and like, you know, the third book was not out yet, and people were freaking out. They wanted to know what's gonna happen with these characters and the story, and yeah, they had to wait like over a year. Like, oh my god, I could have done it. This was amazing. Neil Shusterman is like becoming one of my favorite authors. I really, really enjoy his writing and his characters and his stories, and yes, so 5 out of 5 stars, like I said. Next, I read Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, and this is a 5 out of 5 star. I'm really, really happy. I read Throne of Glass last year. I gave it a 4 out of 5 star. I liked it, but it was not like amazing, you know. And then I read The Assassin's Blade last month, so in April, and I really, really enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 star. And this one was a 5. Again, in this one, we're expanding the world. There's really more politics in this one. We also see Selena being vulnerable and also being the badass assassin that she claims she is. We finally like kind of see her potential, and there's reveals that I'm like shook. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm so excited for Hairfire, the third book, because like I said, I really, really enjoyed that one. A 5 out of 5 star. Next, I read On Body by Ruby Kaur, and this is her new poetry collection, modern poetry collection. I read Milk and Honey and The Sun and Our Flowers 3-4 years ago, I want to say. It's been a while. And I really, really love Milk and Honey and The Sun and Flowers. I think my favorite one is The Sun and Her Flowers. After that, maybe it's going to be Homebody, and after that, Milk and Honey. I really enjoyed it. I tabbed a lot of poems in this one. Some of them really resonate with me. This one is really more about like grounding yourself, your mind, your heart, and your body together, and I really, really enjoyed it. I think it was really appropriate for where I am as a person. I think if I reread The Sun and the Flowers or Milk and Honey, maybe it wouldn't impact me as much as it did when I first read it, because I'm not the same person that I was like 4-5 years ago, because I really think it was like 4 or 5 years ago that I read this. So I'm really not the same person that I was. I evolved like a Pokemon. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna give it a rating just because I feel this is a really personal poetry collection from Ruby Kaur, and I don't feel comfortable rating personal experience, you know. Next, I'm so happy to say that I finished Feast for Crows by George R.R. Martin. Oh my god, let me tell you how long it took to finish that book. I started this book October 12th, 2020, and I finished it on May 20th of this year, 2021. It took me 221 days to finish this. Yay! But I finally finished it. I really, really enjoyed the last like 100 pages, I would say. It flew. Like, this book was so slow. Like, from page 1 to like 600, it was so slow. But then at 600, like in the last 100 pages, it really picked up, and things were happening and things were revealed, and it was really, really good. So I really loved the ending, but yeah, the overall rest of the book was bleh. So this is a 3 out of 5 star, unfortunately, just because it was really slow. Like I said, nothing really happened. We're not following my favorite characters, and it's only on the last 100 pages that something happened. Well, some things happened, and yeah, and their story like really picked up. So yeah, but I'm really excited to read A Dance with Dragons. So, but it's not gonna be anytime soon because I need a break. And finally, the last book that I finished this month is The Toll by Neil Shusterman. So yes, I'm done with another series. I'm really happy because this month in May was to, continue our finish series. So I'm really happy that I completed another one. So I completed 2 this month. And this was amazing. This was an amazing conclusion to an amazing series. It is one of my favorite dystopian of all time. This was so good and so well done. These characters, I love them so much. I'm so attached. And this was even more political than like Scythe and Thunderhead, which it's my thing, you know. I love politics, so I give this one a 5 out of 5 star. I loved it. I am going to pick anything Neil Shusterman is gonna write in the future, and I really want to read his past works just because I really love his writing style and his character and also his stories, like I said. So yeah, this was a 5 out of 5 star. And finally, the last book that I didn't finish but I started in May is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I am almost halfway through, so I'm on page 340, and I really enjoying it. I just didn't have the time to finish it, so I'm gonna finish it in June, but I'm really enjoying it. This is heavily political and I'm loving it, so I'm really excited to talk about it in my June wrap up. So this is it, guys. This is my May wrap up. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.